What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Contested NBA podcast. I'm your co-host, Ethan Cope, here once again with Alex and Max.
What up? What up?
And today
Well,
is the day I feel like most NBA fans have been waiting for.
wait,
That's the right word.
wait.
Oh, Max wasn't waiting for it.
Today is January 13th. I don't think anything else historic has happened today other than what we're about to bring up, other than this trade. Nothing important in history happened on January 13th besides this Harden trade that we'll get into. Oh,
Right.
I mean, our president was impeached for the second time, and that's like the first time that's ever happened in U.S. history. Anyways, but let's
We
get
got
into
more. We got better
the
things to
Harden
get to
trade.
right now.
Yes.
Yes. This is the most important talk of the
All
day.
right. So we're coming to you guys probably like an hour after it was reported, but James Harden has finally been traded. He's going to Brooklyn to team up with Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. I feel like what most NBA fans kind of feared, even though I still personally think that it would have been a better fit for him to go to Philly for Ben Simmons, but we'll get into that more. So let me run through the whole trade because it ended up being a 4-team trade. So obviously the
Yeah, it's a
Rockets and
lot.
Nets
Yeah,
were
but
involved, but then
what's
they also got the Cavs and Pacers involved.
Right. And before you get into the details, I just kind of want to say this all came up really fast because last night after the Rockets lost to the Lakers, James Harden had this whole press conference about him just basically saying get me the hell out of here. He was very blunt about it. And then John Wall and DeMarcus today were basically calling James Harden out, DeMarcus especially, saying pretty much, I came to Houston to play with John Wall, not with James Harden. So there was definitely a bunch of turmoil going on in the Rockets locker room.
Yeah, so
Well, it's
all
all
that
gone now,
happened,
so
and
it's
then
fine.
I personally didn't expect a trade to go through this quick. I think for the Rockets and the Nets, I think it's better for them that it went through this quick. But anyways, we're gonna get right into it. So, according to Shams,
By the way, I think the Nets have their Spencer Dinwiddie sized hole fixed up now.
Yeah, we talked about the Dinwiddie injury. That
Yeah.
goes their third ball handler that they needed. Yeah.
Anyways,
I
hope they can recover.
So the Nets obviously got James Harden, but the Rockets. So this is including the Pacers and Cavs. So the Rockets ended up getting Oladipo, Dante Exum, Rodions Kurucs. I don't know who that is.
That dude is cold and 2K.
3 unprotected Brooklyn Nets first round picks, so 2022, 2024, and 2026. And then 4 unprotected Nets pick swaps in 21, 23, 25, and 27. And a 2022 Milwaukee Bucks first round pick via Cleveland. The Cavs get Jared Allen and Taurean Prince to basically, I don't know, just add more to their front court. And the Pacers get Karis LeVert and a second round pick. So that's all that happened because of the trade.
Wait, who did the Cavs get again?
The Cavs got Jared Allen and Taurean Prince.
Did they trade JaVale McGee?
No, they have JaVale, Drummond,
they still have
Allen.
They still have JaVale, Drummond, Allen now, like Alex said.
Larry Nance.
K-Love when he comes back, Larry Nance. So they're like the Knicks.
The rest of the league going small, but the Cavs are going big. Flipping the script.
I'm trying to see Andre Drummond at point guard. But hey, the Knicks aren't doing too bad. So their weird too many big men lineup is
working out so far.
Yeah, they're outperforming.
Yeah.
Not so much for the Pistons, though. They kind of have that similar problem.
All right. So anyways, let's get into what this means for the Nets, obviously, because now they have James Harden. Like Max said a couple minutes ago, I guess that more than makes up for losing Spencer Dinwiddie, especially because I like the fact that they were able to keep Joe Harris, who I think is a good, kind of fourth option, spot up 3-point shooter. I like that they
He's
kept
reliable.
him. Yeah. And, obviously having Harden, Kyrie, and KD on the same basketball team is, pretty good. But
Yeah.
I don't see anyone else in the East winning that conference anymore besides the Nets. I feel like it would have to take a monumental just collapse or breakdown, whatever you want to call it, for the Nets to not win. I think it would probably I think it would end up really just being like a choke. I feel like it's their conference to lose at this point.
I feel
I
like it's
think,
their chip to lose. But go ahead, Max.
yeah. We're already starting to see bring up some of the things that could possibly bring down the Nets. Some of the idiots in the group chat have brought up, like chemistry. Obviously, if that locker room falls apart, that's one way that it would. But given that their locker room doesn't implode, another thing would be depth. They are missing a lot of depth, especially with Spencer Dinwiddie out. That doesn't help. They don't really have a center anymore besides DeAndre. So we'll see how that goes. Unless they want to play small ball with KD at the 5, which could work, but I still think you need a rebounder.
Oh, also, to that point, actually, I think Woj tweeted out they still have $5.7 million left in cap space. So I was gonna say I wouldn't be surprised if they make a move for a big man, especially after getting rid of Torian Prince and Jared Allen. So
I just want to say thank God Ibaka didn't sign with the Nets in the offseason because they'd be running away with this right now if that was the
oh
case.
my God, yeah, that would be ridiculous.
But hey, man, all fantasy owners should be looking at Chris Chioza right about now. And Landry Shamet, who's going to start getting it going at some point.
Hopefully.
I think. So those are kind of the main concerns: is their chemistry, their depth. If they can overcome those, I don't know. Like the chemistry obviously is a very tricky thing. So I'm not going to predict whether they're going to fall apart because of it. It's just not. It's not like a thing that you can accurately predict.
Talent could definitely overcome it, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, if the chemistry is so bad that these dudes won't even play with each other or pass the ball,
right,
obviously, but if they're not talking to each other but willing to play with each other, then they'll be fine.
Yeah, and hopefully
they're that good.
Hopefully, Kyrie gets back with the team now, because I know we keep saying the Nets are definitely the favorites now, but if Kyrie still decides to do his own separate thing,
right? So in other news, Kyrie might retire or something.
Yeah. Stephen A. Smith told him to retire, so that means he should retire. But man, the Nets there's no better collection of talent on the offensive end than those three guys right now in the whole entire league.
Mm-hmm.
As a collection, I mean, those are probably one of the three best scorers of the past decade in the NBA. Kyrie doesn't have as much, I guess, cachet as Harden and KD as straight up scorers, but that guy could do just as much on the offensive side of the ball. And they still got some pieces around him, Joe Harris, Shamet if he remembers how to shoot again. That's about it though. So they're very thin.
Come playoff time, though,
that's not going to matter come playoff time, honestly.
Right, and honestly, come playoff time, I just think they need to sign another reliable big, and then that way you could have at least 8 rotation players, and then maybe go out there pick up a Mon Shumpert. He's a free agent right now. Try to add some type of wing, but I know the picks are a lot, but when you're looking at what they gave up player-wise, it's really not that much. It's Jared Allen, Torian Prince, right?
And Karis
LeVert. I mean, those guys you would trade for Harden in a heartbeat, but the picks, when you see the picks, it kind of throws you off. But listen, if KD and Harden and Kyrie are there long-term, those picks are going to be late first rounders in the 20s. So it really won't matter too much to them.
Yeah, so, definitely.
The Nets, what's their ceiling now? Because the last podcast I said they're not winning a championship now. I really don't think they could.
I think their floor is the finals.
Yeah. Seriously.
So what's
like,
their ceiling? Chip?
Winning a chip.
Yeah,
Yeah.
chip.
Oh, okay.
Like,
all right.
like looking at it, like you said, the floors is the finals because I really don't think if the Nets are clicking, there's no one in the East that could mess with them.
No
Right.
way. No, not at
Right.
all.
Not even like a little bit.
I don't even think I think maybe the Bucks could get like one game, maybe.
The Bucks, I think, out of all the other teams, are like more equipped because they do have those defenders, with Giannis, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, but that offense is just too much from Brooklyn.
Yeah, I hate to say it, Celtics ain't doing shit against the Nets, bro. I'm like hurt, but I kind of expected Harden to come to the East at some point. But yeah,
low-key
I
hurt
don't know,
too.
man.
Like, damn, Nets are so stacked now.
So what about
Yeah.
so obviously Brooklyn was one of his two teams that he wanted to go, like the two at the top.
Yeah, we need
Philly was the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Did they choke?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they fumbled the bag.
They like.
I'll let Alex go first though.
Yeah, I just like obviously if Harden didn't have the Sixers on his preferred list, then I would understand that you wouldn't want to trade Simmons and picks and stuff. But from the reports we saw today, it was like they were asking for Tyrese Maxey and Matisse Thybulle. And if those two guys are really holding up a trade for James Harden, then yeah, they fumbled the bag because I just don't. Simmons is what he is. I'm not very high on Simmons at all. I thought if they traded Harden for Simmons, that's like a runaway deal. You take that and don't look back. And
Yeah.
I think with Simmons, the Sixers' ceiling is like their ceiling is so low to me because having that guy as your second best player, I don't think it's a liability more than someone that's gonna contribute to you winning a chip if he's your second best player.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, there's no way the 76ers, I feel like, even compete with the Nets, really.
no.
But, I mean, I don't even
Well,
think... I
they
think
got Joel Embiid. That's a pretty good start right there.
that is true. But, I
Yeah.
mean, if you look after that, if you look at matchups, I don't know, Ben Simmons and Kyrie Irving, I mean, I guess
No,
there are
it
some
wouldn't-
things
no.
Ben Simmons is better at, but then you throw, like, Toby versus Kevin Durant.
Harden versus Seth Curry, Danny
Like,
Green.
Like,
Hey, no. Danny Green did pretty good on Harden during the playoffs.
But it helps
During these last playoffs.
I think it helps when Harden's gonna have KD and Kyrie now.
yeah.
I think it'll be harder to step up on Harden now. But
You think it'll make a difference now that he has KD and Kyrie over just Westbrook?
because on Houston, like you could easily
stop.
You could scheme Westbrook out the game plan so easy. Like you could leave Westbrook open all day. If you want to leave Kyrie open, go ahead.
Just don't let Westbrook in the paint. That's literally all you have to do.
My favorite.
I mean, that's besides the point, though.
Was what does Westbrook do in the off season? Like, does he just jump and that's it? like he has no like skill. It's like, oh my god, it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. That's tough, dude.
Okay,
That's
so
tough.
the Indiana Pacers replaced Oladipo with Karis LeVert. It's an interesting pick.
It's a downgrade. But
yeah, on the defensive end for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a downgrade, but I don't think it's a downgrade to really change like how I feel about the Pacers.
Yeah, for sure.
So I still think they're like a first round exit, but they're a solid team. I mean, they've shown they can play well. Malcolm Brogdon and Sabonis has been really good. Malcolm Brogdon has looked really good as well.
Pacers
Miles Turner, Miles Turner has looked a lot better this year. He's a block machine right now, but I mean,
He's had 8 blocks. He's had 8 blocks in one game twice this season.
Yeah, no, it's insane. Ridiculous. No, he's like I've never seen anyone.
I think he's legit averaging like 4 blocks per game or something.
Yeah, right.
He had 4 like last night.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But either way, I mean, that's besides the point. I don't really feel any different about the Pacers besides they like slightly downgraded. But I mean, they also get a pick, and Karis LeVert is good. If you see Karis LeVert when like Katie and Kyrie were both out for some games, he would hoop, and he can get buckets for sure. I mean, he dropped 50 on the Celtics last year, so I don't really think. I think
Yeah,
you lose out defensively and like a little offensively. I guess
yeah,
I
if
feel
it
like
is a
Oladipo's gonna bring
downgrade, it's
more.
not by much. And if the reports are true about Oladipo, like not really wanting to be in Indiana, it's a no-brainer. I think that's more than
Yeah,
a nice recovery.
yeah. So I mean, I guess we just gotta wait and see what the Nets do. I don't really feel any way about the Cavs.
They got yeah, we already mentioned it's because Drummond and Allen are both free agents at the end of the year,
Yeah,
and
it's kind of a
I'm sure they're not dumb enough to pay both of them big money. But if I see next offseason that they sign both of them to like big contracts, I would not be surprised.
yeah.
Ugh.
So that leaves us with the one team remaining, the people who trade away James Harden, the Rockets, obviously. So they have like I don't know. I kind of like their squad just because I feel like now with Oladipo, like someone who actually like wants to play and is gonna put effort in. I feel like now the Rockets could only go up. I feel like or just stay the same
Yeah, I think
as
they're
where
better
they
by
are.
default, just chemistry wise. Because I know we mentioned earlier how chemistry isn't like the determining factor, but in
It's not the
Houston's,
determining factor.
yeah,
It's
but in
just a
Houston,
factor.
I know, but I'm
Yeah.
saying, but in Houston's case,
I'm
that's
not saying
like,
for you. I'm saying because other people think that chemistry is going to get you a bucket late in the fourth or whatever.
oh,
You
okay.
know, we got guys in the group chat saying like, oh, they don't have chemistry, therefore they can't do anything. It's like, wait
No,
a second.
but yeah, no, there's like chemistry, and then there's like dudes literally hate each other, and
Yeah,
that was
Yeah.
Houston's case. So they're going to
Yeah.
be better by default. And like you said, they got a nice squad,
I think
but
John Wall and Depot and the way Christian Wood especially has been playing, and maybe if Boogie can stop getting 2 techs in the first 5 minutes of a game.
Max, you gotta let this off because you are right. They have it out for him.
Oh,
No, they do for sure. I'm gonna let Max go
dude.
though.
I noticed this last night. Well, I noticed it in the first game the Rockets played against the Lakers, and then because he got ejected, and then he got a tech last night. Did he get ejected last night?
Yeah, I did. I think.
Oh, he did. Okay, so
Right, he did. Yeah.
what?
I think he
Yeah,
got ejected
exactly. It's
again
like
last night.
he got ejected for just dumb stuff, and it's not dumb on Boogie's part. It's dumb on the refs. Like, bro, you see like Boogie get all these like no calls and everything, and he's just throwing his arms up in frustration. People like make fun of him for it, but he's absolutely right. It's completely warranted.
Every player throws their arms up like a little child and screams at the refs, and nothing
No, I
happens.
just love the Boogie like, come
Yeah.
on. Like,
Yeah,
no,
but
they have it out for him, man. I don't know.
they do. People,
They got to
different
do something
players
about
get
that.
different privileges. I mean, you see Luca do that. Luca cries like a bitch almost after every
Oh my
play.
god,
I'm sorry,
that's.
but he does. He does.
I'm sorry, but Boogie is it's such an extreme. Like
Yeah, no,
they
Yeah.
have
that's what I'm
such an
saying
extreme
though.
hatred
The
though.
he, yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, I know Boogie's been like controversial in the past, and he's always had like an attitude, so to speak.
Yeah, but he's
But
just trying to play basketball, man.
yeah,
Yeah. No,
at this point, it's overkill for sure. It's just like, can y'all please just let the man play?
yeah.
Like it's
Like
ridiculous.
the little like he throws his arms up and then the waddle like the
Man.
But yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, I kind of
Anyways,
like.
free
I
Boogie.
think yeah. I think the Rockets only go up from here, like we just said. I think they can still. I think now they even have a better chance to make the playoffs. I feel like if they kept Harden, then there was probably no shot they make the playoffs, and that's not because Harden is bad. Obviously, that's just because.
Right.
I mean, now you got Oladipo, who I mean, you could argue is an all-star caliber player or borderline,
Before, yeah.
but
Borderline, yeah. Yeah.
um, I mean, now they got him. John Wall's been playing well. Christian Wood's been playing well. Like I said, I think, and especially with all of the picks, I think they got like 8 picks. That's, I think it's
Fourth,
a,
yeah.
I think that's a huge, or I think that's a huge win for the Rockets for sure. I think they're the biggest. No, that's not true.
Right. Well, they got 4 first round picks unprotected and the 4 pick swaps. which the pick swaps is just depends. Like I think it's more likely the Rockets are the worst team in the year 2027, so they probably not want to swap the picks with Brooklyn. But it just really depends because we went through the players they got, and in terms of the players they got in return for Harden, it's not much value. So this trade for me just really depends on how good these picks turn out. Because if the picks turn out to be just like regular guys, like we'll look back at this trade and it won't be very good.
Yeah, they got the 8 picks, but I also wanted to add after acquiring Karis LeVert today, they ended up trading him to Indiana for Depot or they gave up LeVert in a second. So I guess technically, net gain like 7 draft picks. But yeah, I still think that the Rockets win this trade for sure. Max, you got anything to add?
The Rockets win this trade?
Yeah, I don't know about win.
I mean, for them, Harden didn't want to play there, and he was tired of being there, and he just made them worse at this point.
Man,
okay, yeah, that's.
I feel like they could have gotten a better deal out of the 76ers. They got Ben Simmons and a couple of like pieces on top of it.
It's something clearly okay, but clearly Daryl Morey wasn't willing to do that.
Which is so weird because that's his guy.
Yeah, I don't understand why, but clearly that's more on Daryl Morey's side. But I feel like getting Harden out of that situation, you're bringing a player like Depot and you get a bunch of picks. I feel like that is
but like if
W for them.
If the Nets, I obviously this wasn't the case because it didn't happen, but I would feel better about the Rockets if they got like Simmons, Tyrese Maxey, Matisse Thybulle, and like 3 first-round picks.
Yeah, for sure.
Swaps.
But I don't know what Daryl Morey's on, or what he sees in Ben Simmons.
Do we think that that Daryl Morey can, now that Harden's on the Nets, do we think that Daryl Morey can now tweet out videos of Harden highlights without getting fined?
Yeah, because the
Is that a possibility?
NBA's dumb like that now. So
I have no idea, man. Adam Silver will probably still find a way to find him. But either way,
it's just revenge for the China situation.
That's basically
they gotta cover up the cap space. That's why they find him. They gotta get some money back.
But that's the big news that broke today. So we wanted to get you guys that news right away. And maybe we'll either have this up. I don't know when you guys will be seeing this. The day after Harden was traded, maybe, or the day of. Yeah. But yeah. So
we got a super team
I
again.
I don't know. We do have a super team again. The one is about 1.25 years or seasons without a super team. It felt really nice.
Yeah, we got a year off.
Kyrie though,
super teams again.
Yeah,
Kyrie is a very interesting topic.
What's going on there? What are we doing about that?
It was all part of the plan. Well, what if they told Kyrie to do all this so he's not appealing to the Rockets in a trade?
That's interesting.
There you go.
Conspiracy? Yeah. No, I think Kyrie is just being weird. I'm not surprised. This dude is pulling a Dennis Rodman right now.
I will say though, the media definitely picks and chooses like what they want to see, like what they want to talk about Kyrie for. And I know it's his job to play basketball, and it's weird that he was in like a Zoom meeting the other night while the Nets were playing. And I don't know.
Was he in a Zoom meeting? He was like in some like New Jersey,
I mean, it was some like Zoom like conference meeting for like
I think with the DA of whatever
of New Jersey. So weird.
Like it's weird behavior, but the media definitely picks and chooses like how like Kyrie is definitely, I feel like, put out more to be like a bad person than he really is. But it's also really strange behavior, so I can kind of see why in this situation.
It's a little warranted.
Yeah, it's warranted for sure. Yeah.
This dude before the season said, "I will not be talking to pawns," or whatever he said.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's been on some weird stuff lately for sure.
Why you got to be like that, man?
Yeah, but also I saw a point that I think Woj tweeted out that basically, if for whatever reason Kyrie like doesn't play basketball anymore, now that they have Harden, that kind of secures like Kevin
KD.
Durant
Yeah.
for for however long he ends up playing. So I think there's multiple like internal wins for the Nets when acquiring Harden.
Yeah, if Harden and KD stay long term, those picks become whatever. As I meant, like this
Yeah.
trade is a must do for them all day.
Yeah. I'm excited to see how it plays out. I'm definitely going to be watching their first game together if I can. But
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm totally a Laker fan. Oh yeah, we're totally meeting the Nets in the finals. I forgot. To all the stupid Laker fans. By the way, right after this this story came out, one of the first things I was trending on Twitter was Lakers in 5. Man, if you guys don't,
It's just funny because I think the Lakers, like, if you call them the favorites, that's still like fair. But like,
yeah,
why are they
I don't
acting
even-
like this isn't a threat? Like these dudes are just gonna like do nothing.
No, I personally still think the Lakers are you could argue that they're still favorites and they are for sure the biggest threat to the Nets now. I mean, I feel like they were the biggest threat to like win the championship again this year, but to say
still
like
the biggest threat.
for Lakers fans to act like we're gonna win in 5, like, oh, the Nets are no problem, like, bro, like Laker fans got the biggest egos, bro. It's ridiculous.
Completely unwarranted.
I know you have Bron Anthony Davis, but where has AD been this season?
But also we got to add the LeBron factor to it because if LeBron beats this team, it's like undisputed GOAT. But if he loses, it doesn't count. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That's always the double standard with LeBron. He wins, he's the greatest. He loses, it's not his fault. Man, you can't pick and choose. You can't reason with these people.
Yeah. So
man.
Burn them all.
Anyways, we'll have to see what happens with Kyrie.
Yeah.
No, I would say the Lakers are still the favorites until like we see the Nets, see their problems, see the holes that they have in their games, and then see how they kind of fix all that along. So yeah, Lakers for now. But to say that the Nets aren't like there or like,
I'm sorry, this is more of a super team than the Warriors. If Kyrie comes back,
if Kyrie plays the way he should, like talent wise, yeah, but the Warriors just fit better.
The Warriors
talent wise,
the
Nets are better.
I'm going to disagree with that because the Warriors were incredibly deep. They were an incredibly deep team.
That first year,
Iguodala, Sean Livingston,
that's
off
fair.
their bench. But yeah, no, this is obviously one of the best. Like as far as big threes go, for sure.
It's up there with Batum, Kawhi, and Paul George for sure.
Oh, okay.
I mean, this has got to be like.
What about
in terms of talent?
Jokic, Jamal, and Doc Rivers?
Oh yeah, that's the biggest.
But yeah, I guess we'll just have to see what happens with Kyrie, and like Max said, once we see more of them, we can kind of get an idea of how good they're going to be, how good they may not be. But
yeah, I mean, because this is all speculation, and this is all judging based off of what's on paper.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's not like we're completely inaccurate saying like this is going to be one of the greatest offensive teams of all time, possibly even the greatest.
Yeah. And just looking at the East, man, there's like no one that even comes close to that talent.
I mean,
I don't know. I think you have tough teams that can actually. I don't know. I don't think that they have no competition in the East, but they're
heavily.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about how you match up, and if Giannis can figure out a way to like match up against that team, or Philly exposes something, they lock him up or what.
Yeah.
Then it'll be something.
A small ball lineup with KD at the 5 is going to be very fun to watch.
That would be fun. That would be really fun.
He's legit like 7 feet.
Steve Nash is going to pull that out at some point for sure.
Yeah, he has to. If he doesn't, that's malpractice.
Steve Nash is one of the greatest offensive players of all time, with one of the greatest offensive coaches of all time as his assistant coach, with one of the greatest offensive players of all time two, and Kyrie, Katie and Harden, and then Kyrie, who I don't think is one of the greatest offensive players of all time, but he's certainly one of the greatest offensive players of this decade, or the last decade for sure.
Yeah, this generation for sure.
But Kyrie is up there. I mean, oh God, man.
I mean, we've seen what Kyrie can do in the playoffs as well. I think a question is how Harden can perform in the playoffs. And I know he's done well before, but the past, I guess, couple years, it's kind of looked like iffy in the playoffs.
I think having that talent around him will for sure help. It'll take a lot of pressure off him.
Having Kyrie and KD is a lot better than having Westbrook. But Westbrook and I don't know who was their third option, PJ Tucker.
Yeah.
Austin Rivers.
Right. All right. So anyways, is there anything else you guys wanted to add
Was there
to wrap this up?
Rocco probably.
Rocco.
Oh yeah, Rocco probably.
Daniel House.
Daniel House.
Until he got a.
Yeah, man. It was just one more thing to add. Like, I know we were like, oh, John Wall, Christian Wood. That's a nice squad. Like, if he had the opportunity to get traded to Brooklyn, he was not giving this Houston team a chance this season. He was not going to give it a practice run.
Yeah, no, I think Harden's past that point in his career for sure. I mean, he's been to the finals once and he hasn't been able to make it back since, the 2012 season. But
yeah,
I think he just wants to win a chip. God damn, at this point.
For sure.
So, Max, anything else to add before we wrap it up?
You got to get some checked out with your gastrointestinal system.
I just had hiccups.
Hiccups and burps.
So stupid.
See a. I don't know what kind of doctor that is. See your physician.
All right, that's gonna wrap it up for today, guys.
All right. Quick announcement. This is probably gonna be my last podcast for a while, just because I'm gonna step down. Because according to some of the fools in the group chat, I don't know anything. So
that's not why.
Well, that's not the main reason. The main reason is I'm just going to be really busy coming up, and I don't have a lot of time to watch basketball. I'll still be keeping up with it, with fantasy and listening to other podcasts and of course this podcast, and keeping up with it on as much as I can. But actually watching the games, I won't be able to get to, which that's the most important thing when analyzing basketball. So.
Thank God for this trade then.
If we can, Max will show up in a podcast maybe every once in a while. We'll see just how, I guess we'll just see based on timing.
He'll be on for the Bradley Beal trade episode for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, when that comes up.
Wait, what?
But anyways, that's going to do it for today. Damn. I don't know how to do this outro. I kind of forgot.
Dude, just okay.
Max, take it away.
All right, I'm Max Tepper.
I'm Ethan Cope.
Alex
you know what? Maybe I shouldn't come back. I don't want to come back. All right, I'm Max Tepper. That's Ethan Cope. Alex Toma. We will see you guys next time. Like, share, subscribe. Do everything you can to show your support for the podcast. And if you heard anything you disagree with, what's the word?
Oh,
yeah. Go ahead and contest it.
We'll see you guys next time.
Yes.